Hello, Khesraw. I hope I pronounced that roughly correctly. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my name is Khesraw. I'm from Kabul, Afghanistan, 20 years old, and I've been in the Hustlers University for the last 10, 11 months. I think I started off last year around June. I joined the copywriting campus, and ever since it's been an upward spiral.
Okay. What got you to join Hustlers University?
So essentially, I started watching Tate videos right when he was blowing up, and the things that he was saying was really resonating with me because it was not something like completely different because I'm living in the Middle East, and usually from a cultural standpoint those are the things that we have grown up with. So immediately I started to resonate with this guy. Things that he was saying was actually making sense for me. And at the time, I was a broke college high school graduate, so I was just getting into college, and I had to find some ways to make money because the situation inside my country is not as good like as other countries. The job market is not really good right now, so I had to figure out a way to make money online.
hmm Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
And is that something Hustlers University helped you with? What did you actually
yeah,
end up getting into? What
yeah,
campuses? What did you work on learning? How did you implement it? Would be good to get a breakdown there.
yeah, absolutely. So I started off joining the copywriting campus from the start till the end, and right now I'm still in the copywriting campus working with clients with copywriting, marketing. And the thing that made me start copywriting was that the barrier to entry was really low. So I didn't have to put any crazy investment. I just needed to learn the skill. And also at the time, my English was pretty good. So I was like, yeah, I know the language, I can write. So I got into it. And essentially, the things that I learned was that I thought it's going to be like something quick. The process is going to be really fast. I'm going to start making money within the first week. But uh, I just started to learn, okay, yeah, this is like real business. You're going to be dealing with real people. So you have to develop all the skills and just put in the work every single day. For the first like 1 or 2 months, I was not really investing much time to it because I was doing some other stuff here to like make money and stuff. But then I started to take it more serious because I was going in the campus. I was seeing these huge wins people were posting, the captains, and it was really motivating. And it just started to push me. So I started to take it a lot more seriously, start doing outreach a lot more, just analyze what I'm doing every single day, the copy and everything. And I started learning the skill. And within the next 2 to 3 months, I started to land the first, like, I guess you can say my first prospect that actually hopped on a call with me. It gave me that time to present him my offer and all that stuff. And we actually ended up doing a project, but it was not something that I got paid for. I was just doing it to get a testimonial and get the experience. And from then on, I started just continued to work, and the volume that I was doing was getting higher and higher. And I ended up getting a client. I think it was 2 or 3 months, my first paying client, which was about $500. And then 1 or 2 months after that, I just landed this big client who was a big influencer. And essentially, we started working together. I started taking control of his whole marketing, and I'm still working with that client.
hmm How did you reach out to clients and get new prospects?
So the two avenues that I focused on was email and Instagram DMs.
hmm
So I was doing a lot of outreach messages daily.
hmm Roughly how many per day did you average of
Um,
outreach?
I would say like at least I was doing 20 outreach messages per day, but it was like the more I was putting outreach out, the faster I was able to like collect data and analyze what I'm doing. So it was actually helping me to improve constantly and actually get replies, start to get some positive messages. You know the process. You get ghosted, you get some positive
Mhm.
replies back and forth, but still, I was just putting in that volume every single day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Indeed, because again, it's not a like get rich quick scheme. You actually learn
yeah,
skills
yeah.
and then you
Yes,
scale from there. So yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
cool. And I don't know how much you can actually talk about your situation, but fairly recently there was political turmoil over
Yeah.
where you're at. So how has that affected things in terms of maybe job market, as you were saying, or maybe life in general?
Yeah.
Again, as much as you can talk
So
about
yeah, so the thing was, uh, I know a lot of people who get into money, make money online space or entrepreneurship in general. They're like, I was not really good at school. I didn't really like it. But for me, it was like quite the opposite. I was the class nerd for like 12 years. I was really good at it. So I was a topper in the class. I was doing my studies, everything. I was raised in a, you can say, middle class family. And usually my life was just headed to going to college and then masters and then you get a job, whatever, the traditional way of making money. But
it.
then 2021 in the August, the Taliban came and they take over. And after that, everything, the plans that I had in terms of my education and stuff got a little messed up because I was planning on getting the scholarships and doing all that stuff. But then my father actually lost his job. So there was no one to actually like provide for my family except for my mother. He was working in a public school, getting minimum wage. It's like maybe $50 a month. Like that's the minimum wage a teacher gets paid. So you can kind of get an idea of how the situation was. So I was just the eldest child in my family. So I was like, yeah, I got to find a way to make it work. I got to find a way to support my family. And then I started to just research how to make money online, stuff like that. And then I ended up in Hustle's University.
Wow. Okay. So this was all very recent then, in terms of those job losses and providing for family. So, how much is it that you've earned that you can relate
So
to Hustle's University?
directly over the last 10, 11 months that I've been here, yeah, in Hustlers University, over the last 10, 11 months, I've been able to make close to $11,000. And it took me from making $200 a month to right now, I'm making around $4,000 to $5,000 each and every month. So this month I'm headed to make around 4,000 to 5,000, and then moving on, it's obviously going to get bigger and bigger.
Or- And that's so insane because, as you're saying, the
Yeah.
minimum wage there is
Yeah.
$50 a month.
Yes.
So, what do your
Yeah.
parents think
$50 per
about
month.
what you've done?
So they're thinking their overall idea is really good, but they just wanted me to go to college. I went there for like a year, but I ended up dropping out because it was really not worth my time. It was not really productive at all. So they still want me to go, but in the end, I'm able to provide for them, support them. So they're actually really, really proud. But still, they're like, yeah, find a way to go to college, make some time. But it's like I'm just working like 12, 14-hour days here in my room, just like working,
Mhm.
and maybe I hit the gym and then come back still because there's like a lot goes into it. I'm working with one client and then I'm looking to like other projects that I want to have more outreach. So there's a lot of work to be done in a single day.
Okay. What about outsourcing? Have you considered that? Some of the more menial or mundane tasks? Or are you not in that stage yet, do you feel?
Uh, Come again?
Outsourcing. Have you considered outsourcing some of the,
Outsourcing.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
less the
actually
tasks?
considered that, like hiring some other people. I was actually doing the agency thing in the local area. So it was not anything crazy. I was just making around maybe $300 to $500 from local clients, which was not really that productive, considering the amount of hours I was putting into it. I started to like give that to my younger brother. He's like 3 years younger than me, but he doesn't know English quite well. He's still kind of getting into it, but I kind of outsourced that work to him, and he started to make a little bit of money. But yeah, I haven't really considered outsourcing stuff like my outreach or doing my Excel sheets and balance and all that stuff. But I might do it because hiring virtual assistants and stuff from Pakistan or other third world countries are actually very cheap. So it's probably going to be a lot more productive for me if I end up doing that.
Hmm. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And now, more from your side,
Yeah.
uh, what kind of lifestyle changes have you noticed since joining Hustlers University? And what was
Yeah.
your average day back then compared to now?
So the average day was like I was just scrolling till late in the night, maybe playing some video games here and there, having fun. Uh, I was just on my phone watching videos, just consuming information and not really taking action. That was the big thing. So after joining Hustlers University and all that, we are learning things that are actually applicable in real time. So the professors come in daily. They're just getting on calls with students. They're just giving you uh, practical things that you can do on a daily basis to improve your life and actually make more money and all that stuff. So right now, since joining, my day has been like pretty consistent. My waking hours, sleeping hours, work hours, everything is just getting better and better. And to be honest, there are different accountability channels. So if you get lazy or forget to check in with other students who are at your level, you get called out really fast. So there's no way you can get like lazy or you just stop working like that. So it's like work, work, work every single day. And the discipline that I've been able to attain over the last couple of months, I would say, is actually amazing.
Right. That's always great to hear. And
Yes.
one more thing I remembered about what you said earlier for college or university. It's
Yeah.
um it's interesting. I completely understand where your parents are coming from, wanting you to go to university or college, because they're probably thinking it's a more stable route, right? Because to them, what you're
Yes.
doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
what if like one day, since it's coming from the internet, what if one day you're just unable
Yeah.
to make any more money? Is probably their mindset.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah. Yeah.
something
I
like
totally
university is a lot
understand
more
that. Yeah.
stable. But then
Yeah.
the issue of that is, as you can see, all the job layoffs. I mean, obviously,
Yep.
this is everything
Yeah.
you know yourself. I'm just saying from
Yes.
that perspective. For someone who considers it the stable route, there's usually, if a company needs to, they will lay you off without like a second thought. So it's actually not as secure as having your own
Yeah. Like
skills,
even,
learning them. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
you were saying?
So even with the government, my father was working in the government before the Taliban took over. And right when they showed up, within 2 or 3 months, my father lost his job. He got laid off.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of people with bachelor's degree, master's degree, and they're just walking around without a job. They're unemployed. Or people at my age, especially, their only way out is just finding a way to get out of the country and just work minimum wage in Europe or in the US. So immigration rates are really, really high right now. People are just trying to get out of here and find a way to provide for their families.
Mhm.
So yeah, everything is a little bit messy here, but I think overall, since these guys took over the country, the overall environment it's just getting better overall compared to what we had before. But yeah, in general, I think this idea of having stability with your government job or your 9 to 5 is also a complete fallacy because there is no
Mhm.
stability. Like we can see all around the world here, people are getting laid off like immediately.
Exactly. Okay. And now again, back to you for future plans. Where do you see
Yeah.
things heading for you in the short term, medium term, long term?
So in the short term, within this month, I'm definitely going to hit like in terms of incomes because that is what we are really focused on in Hustlers University. So the goal for this month is to absolutely hit 5K, and within the next month, I'm just trying to get my income to at least 10K. So that's like the short-term goal for the next 30 to 45 days.
Mhm.
That's like the short-term goal I have. And long term is just going to be, first of all, to keep working with the client I have right now. We got some bigger plans coming up. We've been able to build good rapport and trust with each other, and I've been able to provide the results that he wanted. So there are a lot more to come, and obviously get bigger and better clients. And another thing that I want is just to launch my own e-commerce business. So right now I'm starting to build a little bit of capital that I can invest into maybe like an Amazon or some sort of like e-com business because that's what I always wanted in the beginning, but I didn't really have the investment to put in ads and inventory and stuff like that. So yeah, in terms of plans, I'm definitely going to join War Room in the next couple months
Mhm.
because of the community that we have in Hustlers University. So those are just a couple things that I got in mind right now.
Right. Okay. So very solid. It seems you have mindset together, which again makes sense because of the situation you're in. That's obviously a motivating factor, and to look after parents, and maybe it's just how you were brought up and that's your mindset. But very solid. Great to hear how much
Yeah.
progress you've made as well, especially again in a place like where you're at with all the political turmoil. You're still able to make a substantial amount of money, even for a first world country. So that's amazing.
Okay.
So you're actually in a interesting situation because, as you said, $50 where you're at is minimum wage for a month. So how comes you ended up deciding to
Yeah.
spend that money to join Hustlers University? And yeah, what advice would you give to people who are skeptical about joining?
Yeah. So about the money and purchase all that stuff. So as you start to make money, there are some of the things, some experiences that you want to enjoy. So going to nice places and buying a bunch of stuff that you don't really need. So that's been like how I'm spending my money. But in terms of um, investing and saving, I'm actually planning to save and start investing into uh, my business, in general. And also for people who are watching and maybe they're skeptical of joining, if you're not willing to maybe invest $50 in yourself and actually bet on yourself to get better, to learn a skill, because you see all these people, they're making money. And if you're scared to like lose $50, then you might as well stay broke and eat the bugs. You know what I'm saying? So $50 for the value that we are getting inside the community, it is absolutely worth it. And I encourage anyone who's watching this video right now to join if they're on the fence about the Hustlers University and the community.
Okay. And for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
For people who want to contact me right now, on Instagram, mainly that is the where I'm getting clients, where I'm connecting with my clients, so they can find me on Instagram at Khesraw.l. That's my username, and that is how they can get in touch with me for their inquiries or if they have any questions about the real world, and I'll be more than happy to help them and just let them know about the process and how it goes.
Okay. So we'll add that to the description of video. So anyone interested can check that. And yeah, Khesraw, thank you for coming on, sharing your experience. And we can do a follow-up potentially in future once things continue developing for you and if you want to give a progress update. But until then, wish you all the best.